this segment is a showcase of our influencers. So we're excited to have some of our influencers of 2018. You'll have seen all their pictures in the magazine and a little write-up about each person that is our 2018 influencers. And we have 4 of them with us today. And I'm really excited to share these people. These are amazing women that are stepping forward, really being seen, and they're going to share some of who they are and what they're doing with their influence and how we might be able to be a part of that, how we could lean in and echo out the different things that we're doing. So really excited to showcase each one. Did we decide on the order? They were rearranging the orders. Oh, there's a conspiracy going on.
I'm impartial.
Rosie, I'm going to have you go first. That's what I was kind of noticing. I was so beautiful. So this is our amazing Rosie Bank, who we just heard from this afternoon, and she's one of our amazing 2018 Influencers of the Year. She is passionate about helping us have vitality and health and a beautiful relationship with our body, which I just love. She has a powerful podcast, and I know you got to see her heart and spirit in the earlier presentation. So I'm honored to have you here. And let me get the microphone. Well, you have a wonderful 5 minutes to share with us.
Oh, awesome.
What you're stepping into, what you're doing as an influencer, and maybe that stretch or how we could lean in and support you.
Before I tell you what I'm doing as an influencer, I want to give you one great plug for the workshop that we took with Rebecca. I have an assistant who feeds me intravenously, figuratively. She feeds me things to do. And up until your workshop, I lived with a very mild, low-grade fever that I couldn't keep up with her ideas of what to do. And after the workshop, I made complete peace with, there's no way I'm going to do all the things that she suggests that I do. So that fever went away. And I learned in the workshop not even to try to take every opportunity to be more selective. So now I always like peeling away anything that stands between me and optimal health and inner peace. And that was a wonderful thing that happened. So what am I doing? I'm going to tell you some of the ways that you can find me. I have a website called Health Matters Coaching. It's also called GetYourBodyToLoveYouBack.com. And there's a Facebook group called Bank on Your Body at Facebook. That's my husband's cleverness. Bank on Your Body. And it used to be a 4-fee group. We just opened it up, so now it's members who want to participate in distinctions around wellness, and I do virtual coaching with videos, and it's actually quite a lot of fun. Then there's a podcast, Health Matters Podcast. This is all at rosiebank.com or getyourbodyloveYouBack.com. And I'm always looking for guests on the podcast, in particular, thought leaders in the wellness field in particular. And the podcast is now being published through, the podcast is now the centerfold for God Health Radio. I'm working with a producer who has built an entire health-based podcast community around Health Matters Podcast. And I met him through somebody who reached out to me on the speaker talent search. So I told you that. So one of the great things about being part of this community is who you meet and who you connect with, and I really encourage you all to nurture those connections. You never know what opportunities can present themselves when you explore those connections. Podcast, Facebook group, Bank on Your Body. And one of the things I didn't get to say when I was up on stage is that I really think that I'm a purveyor of peace and calm, and all roads lead to inner peace. And in a state of inner peace, the decisions we make about taking care of our bodies transform. And I'm thrilled to be able to do an add-on, which is if you can learn to recognize stress for what it is and quit using food and alcohol and caffeine and stress to tamp down stress, because then it becomes a vicious cycle, you will set yourself free. And one of the things I love to teach my clients is that these things that we used to do recede in the past. They live in the past, and we create distance between our present time and some of the ways that we made errors in judgment, like we all do. And even to this day, I live a pretty freaky, healthy lifestyle, and I'm still practicing what Tony Robbins says, which is CANI, C-A-N-I, constant and never-ending improvement. And anything I can learn from you about how to continue to refine my practices, because there is no end. There is no end. It's just a journey.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you.
Pleasure.
Oh, yep. I love hugs. Thank you.
Okay. And we go down, right?
Yep. Okay, so who's next? Kimberly. I gotta keep it going.
And may I be beautiful and use your table?
Absolutely. Yeah, let me give you this. So this is Kimberly Schehrer, and she is one of our amazing 2018 influencers, passionate about helping teens. She has Academy founded, where I know that you support. And one of the things I appreciate about you is this way that you stand for and with teens, to really step into their power, to step into their leadership and possibilities they didn't even know were available, and how some of their decisions and choices impact that. So I appreciate that about you. Very excited to have you with us today, and welcome to the center of the stage, Kimberly Schehrer. Woo!
Thank you very much. I want to thank you, Rebecca, for creating the influencer program, because it was amazing and I learned so very, very much. So thank you for that. Wow, this is incredible. And I also appreciate this opportunity. As influencers, for me, I think for me to be most influential is for me to stand in my vulnerability. And I will say that I always walk away from any interaction with Rebecca with a gentle whisper to open and listen to my heart. And depth of gratitude for that. So with stepping into vulnerability and being more influential, I feel that this invites others to have the courage to do the same. And I believe that this is where transformation shines through. What if teens could experience this at 15 instead of at 30 or beyond? Teens encounter challenges and world pressures, parents, teachers, the naysayers, self-doubts. I've certainly struggled with these. Have you? Yeah. And we can become numb to our knowing and our purpose. And I want for teens to embrace their infinite power in their creativity and their knowingness. Teens, I feel if they had more confidence to boldly listen more with their heart than their limited logical minds, I think more would really unfold for them. I do want to give an example of a middle schooler that I worked with, and he was failing classes and struggling in school. He was labeled a behavioral problem and had poor self-esteem. Within 3 months of working with me, he made Student of the Month. Within 6 months, he made the honor roll, and the following year, he was taking advanced placement courses and prepped for college. In contrast to who I call Jake is Steve, who didn't work with me, had similar challenges, dropped out of college, is still abusing drugs, and his parents no longer talk to him. Two students, similar challenges, leading very different lives. Jake excelled because his father was proactive and brought him in to work with me early on. And Jake transformed his beliefs into believing he was stupid and destined to be a misfit into believing in his worthiness and his gifts. And that just made all the difference in his life course. So that's amazing to me. And this transformation unfolded through the education strategies I taught him, through our connection, and through his open communication on vulnerable topics. I invite you to unite with me and support our teens to embrace their brilliance and to shine brightly in the world now rather than later, or worst of all, never. I have a free interactive group call where, I forgot, I got to tell my story. Hopefully I have time. Also, I had this amazing awareness through my own meditation. And in this one meditation, I was visited by my 3-year-old self. And then my divine adult self also came through. And she was so beautiful and so radiant, surrounded by gold and white light. And my 3-year-old, it was, if I knew at 3 that I could become that woman I saw, I would have never doubted myself. I would have trusted my heart and followed my path. So I hope I would like to invite each of you to join me on this free call so that we can brainstorm how we can expand our influence and our impact to help teens. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Deb.
I knew you were going to do that. Oh my goodness.
So this is our amazing Deb Dutcher, another fabulous, I have one. I'm good, yeah. You can double mic me, but yeah, I'm good. One of our amazing 2018 influencers. And I love your energy, your passion, your commitment to being there, to being seen, to helping others be sexy, lean, and strong. I love it. So excited to have you here. Look forward to your share. Let's welcome Deb Dutcher to the stage. Woo!
I was sharing in the bathroom before we got back in here that for the last few years, my voice was tamped down and held back because I lived with someone who needed me to leave half of me outside the front door before I walked back in. And I couldn't sing, and I couldn't dance, and I couldn't speak about who I am and what I do in front of his family. And I couldn't share with his friends, and we lost several to cancer because I wasn't allowed to offer them an alternative. And in that process, I attended some of Rebecca's events, and I saw people unfold and open up, and I thought, you're much stronger than this. You don't have to give up who you are because this person can't cope with who you are. And because he's diminishing as he ages and you're exploding as you age. And my producer, thanks to Rebecca, I ended up with a television series and a whole bunch of things going on, which I'll give you some links in a minute. But she told me, you teach people how to age backwards. And I thought, well, why can't I help him? And I learned from Robin today, there's something going on in him I can't get to. The only way I've been able to survive is with coming to things like this, with connecting with people who are in touch with who they really are, who came through the Phoenix fire. And I know I've come through that fire. And so I want you, if you like Instagram, because of Rebecca, I was able to pick from the Expert to Influencer program. And we went to it together, Rosie and I and Moneeka and all these wonderful people. And I was trying to do everything, turning 65, trying to reintegrate with my daughter, be a grandmother, run a health coaching practice, figure out how to promote myself. What do I do every day to post something? I was going crazy. And Rebecca gave me one word, repurpose. I went, I don't have to do anything new. I've got a frickin' best-selling book. Why don't I just leverage off of that? And then I found a protocol that I use in my practice, and it may not apply for you, but you might know someone who is so tired of not feeling good in their body and is struggling and is dealing with, can I eat this? Can I eat that? What's going to set it off? I found a test called food inflammatory testing, and I want you to know about it because I have saved people's lives with it. In the last year, I've done 100 of them, and I have saved 100 people's lives because I can't eat eggs or almonds. Who knew? Linda did it with me. I've got several people who have done it that are local in this area. Being a health coach is probably the most amazing thing I've ever done, but I spent 20 years in high tech. I spent 20 years killing my body, killing my spirit, and losing a family, losing everything. Lost a son to drug overdose. So I really relate to what you're saying because I have a foundation to reach youth at risk, and we need to talk. Have you ever thought what you would do if you won that big, huge jackpot that just got won? This morning when I was driving here, they said they're splitting 30 million apiece. It's 300 million, and then there's 11 of them. And then instantly, I said, I'm going to fund the foundation, and I'm going to give children the supplements and the nutrition they need to not self-medicate with drugs and alcohol. And I thought, well, then why aren't you doing it now? You don't need to win $30 million. And I wouldn't be able to give this speech if I weren't in this room with Rebecca. Because in high tech, you can't show your emotions. And in my home, I can't show my emotions. So thank you for being my community.
Okay. Tina here. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. So let's take a moment, pause, breathe, send our love, support, and appreciation for Deb. Thank you. Moneeka. Come on up. Excited to have you here. So, Moneeka is known as the Blissful Millionaire. She has a beautiful podcast that's on several networks supporting people, women in particular, but men aren't excluded, men as well, around the world, and really helping them step into their bliss in different ways. You've created a beautiful program about how they can use real estate and investing in a powerful, positive, uplifting way so they can live the life of their bliss. So I'm really excited. Best-selling author. I was trying to think of so many things that you're doing and building and creating. So I'm very honored to have you here today. So let's welcome Moneeka Sawyer to the center of the stage. 2018 influencer. Woo!
Thank you. Hello, everybody. So, I actually didn't know what I was supposed to say today either, so I'm going to kind of channel this and see what's the best thing for all of you. But I just want to start by my journey as an influencer began about 2.5 years ago when I birthed my baby, Choose Bliss. And this book is kind of my life work. It is my passion, my purpose, it's everything, because it really brings together all the things that I have learned in my, should I say it, 50 years of experience in life and the tragedies and trauma that I've been through, and how I have lifted myself up and others to live a truly blissful life. And so how am I defining bliss? Put this over here.
Absolutely.
Bliss is that deep down sense of joy and contentment and the belief and confidence that no matter what life hands you, you can handle it. And so it's not just like, oh, I'm happy all the time. It's like that really deep sense of joy. And so it's been a really, really hard thing for me to do that. And as an influencer, what's really been interesting is it's gotten harder. Because every time you stand up on a stage, you don't know what people are going to think. I've been on a lot of television, which I'm so blessed with, all over the country because the book went crazy. But every single time, you don't know if you're going to be able to say the right thing, if you're going to freeze, if you're going to stutter. You get like 1.5 to 7 minutes on television, So I've been blessed and scared out of my mind. And one of the things that I really, really got, let me tell you a story. My mother-in-law and I were having lunch. And she says, wow, Moneeka, you've gotten really good being in this industry that we don't know anything about. And here's what's really, really funny is I haven't watched television for 25 years. So I don't know anything about TV either. And then I wanted to start this podcast, and someone was saying to me, Moneeka, you need to listen to all of these real estate podcasts. And I was like, that would completely freak me out. Like for me, bliss is about being me in the world. And I didn't want to compare myself to anybody else. And so I didn't listen to any podcasts. And I started my own podcast. So it's like, it's scary. I don't know what I'm doing. And I keep doing it. And it's fun and it's explosive. Like the book went crazy. The podcast has gone crazy. It's been really, really an amazing experience. A lot of the success with the podcast has to do with Rebecca, because she saw something in me that I couldn't see and had confidence that I could do things that I had no idea that I could do. So she was one of the first guests on my podcast. She really encourages me every step of the way. And so it's been a real blessing. And I really, really relate to this thing, the curve that you were doing about, we all have help at the bottom. It's really lonely when you're pushing to a place that other people in your sphere of influence don't understand at all. So Rebecca is one of those people that pushes me when I'm scared out of my mind. And it's really been an amazing journey. So the thing that I want to say to people about being an influencer is it's really, really good if you don't know anything. And do it anyways, because you're more likely to be authentic. You're more likely to get your true message out if you're not trying to be like everybody else. Just be perfectly you. So the thing I want to offer everybody today is I've created a tiny little course called the Gratitude Habit Former. One of the master skills of bliss, and I teach about bliss in our work, I teach about it in real estate, I teach about it in relationships, right? We want our lives to be blissful. The master key is gratitude. And I know that this became really popular when Oprah started talking about it about 10 years ago, right? And so everybody has tried some level of a gratitude practice. There is a way to do it wrong, and it will actually make you feel worse. So the course teaches you how to do it right so that you can really experience the benefits of gratitude and bring bliss into every portion of your life, including standing on a stage, being on a podcast, starting a podcast, whatever it is that you want to do out there in the world. Feel gratitude. And then go forward and do all those things even if you're scared. So thank you.
Thank you. Absolutely. Thank you. So I want to make sure you get your book. Absolutely. Our beautiful 2018 influencers. Let's give them another round of applause. Thank you for sharing.